Any additions, deletions to the minutes?
Can we add that I was at a conference?
We can if you like.
Yeah. Mayor Mario, can you add that I was at a conference for being absent, please?
Anything else?
No.
I
Entertain.
move that we approve the minutes as amended for the Commissioners Court regular session of October the 8th.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesen, second by Commissioner McCam to approve the amended minutes. Any other comments? In favor? We have 4 in favor and 1 abstains. Item 2, consider and take action to impose a burn ban for Henderson County. Fire Marshal.
Good morning, Court. Good morning.
Morning.
These are going to be yesterday's numbers. They haven't updated as of this morning unless you can look at it now and possibly have. 457, 666 for a high and 583 for an average in the county. It dropped significantly. It is 2 points up from, I guess, because we didn't get as much rain or maybe the wind dried it out a little bit. I looked at our 100-hour fuel dryness forecast, and in the next 100 hours, again, it's a forecast, so they're saying that we should be above normal moisture for the fuel load we have out there, which is good news for us. I'd be willing to answer any questions any of y'all have for me.
Questions for the Fire Marshal?
We had a couple of fires over the weekend. Did I hear that?
We did.
correct? Grass fires, brush fires?
We had a couple of grass fires. None of them related really to, people burning the
Okay.
trash or anything like that.
Okay.
But we had one that was about 2.5, 3 acres over around the Payne Springs area. But other than that, the fire departments have done a really good job. They've been able to put a stop to them. We haven't had anything really get out of hand real bad. I believe we're supposed to get some rain tonight or this afternoon into the morning. That may be why that 100-hour fuel dryness forecast is the way it is. If we do get a little bit more rain, it is going to drop us down below that 575 threshold. The fuel load remains, but it is wetter than normal. So.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
I found it interesting that after the heavy rain on Friday, it did drop it significantly. But as you said, on the 13th, the average for the county was 581. And then yesterday's numbers went up 2 points. And that was the only drying that we had was really on Sunday. Light wind, a little bit of sun, but it started climbing again. But it is encouraging that it's raining out there today.
How many tickets did you write this weekend?
Well, I can tell you we had over 50 calls this weekend.
Because of the rain
Right.
that we had?
This weekend, everybody just assumed that the burn ban was lifted. I think there was even somebody on Facebook or something said that the burn ban was lifted, so it started that, and the fire departments are running ragged. I did talk to a lot of the fire chiefs. I didn't get a chance to talk to all of them, but the majority of them are saying, yes, take the burn ban off. Like talking to you yesterday, one of the fire chiefs made a good point. He said, I'd rather go fight a grass fire than have to answer 30 burn ban violation calls. It's nonstop, the calls right now. People are they're burning.
Other comments?
Those numbers came out before yesterday. We had significant rain yesterday. Most of the county.
Yes,
and then it's
Yes,
today.
these are going to be yesterday's numbers, probably around 10 or 10:30 in the morning. Here in a little bit, we'll get updated ones. I'm sure that it'll be under the 575, but if it's not, with the rain we received this afternoon or tonight, it should knock it down.
Well, if no action is taken today, the burn ban expires.
That's correct. It expires this morning if there's no action taken by the court today.
Gentlemen, any action?
Yeah, the new numbers aren't out yet. I just checked for you.
Okay, thank you.
Does it expire as soon as court's open?
I don't know, that might be a Clint question. I know y'all put it on for 28 days, so I don't know if it comes down to the minute that y'all voted.
Go back days, 28 days, and then do the math. I don't know. Math on where the 28 days.
Historically, we've always observed noon, basically, to make it easy for everyone. I don't know if y'all were writing tickets at 11:58 a.m., but
We're probably busy.
probably not.
No.
Okay. Any other comments? If not,
I think, if I could, I think we should look at the numbers again next week.
Okay.
Because if it does drop, then we know we made the right decision, but if it's not on the agenda, and the rain that we get today, and it turns right back to hot and dry, we could be right back up there.
yeah. All it'd take is a few days of the wind blowing good.
That's my concern. So I have no problem in taking no action today and let it fade away.
We'll be sure and have it on the next agenda as well.
I think we need to at least talk about it next week with the new numbers.
Okay,
Thank you,
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Shane, for all you do with that.
thank you.
Because, I
Okay.
mean, when you can go to the Keach and Drought Index, you can look all the way around us. And it's not just us. I mean, it's a little bit worse to the south. But it's an orange picture of Texas.
It is. Well, we'll be taking no action on item 2, so the burn ban will lift at noon today. Item 3, consider and take action to approve the transfer of a file cabinet and 4 desk chairs from surplus inventory to the district attorney's office and the jail. Courtney?
Good morning, Court.
Good morning.
We are going to take I'll approve it, the file cabinet out of surplus. The DA's office does have a need for it. And then the desk chairs, the jail really needs some better chairs. So we had a few that were given to surplus, so we were going to transfer them out.
Okay. Questions? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Thomas, to approve the transfer of a file cabinet and 4 desk chairs from surplus to the DA and the jail. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 4, consider and take action to approve the transfer of 5 Dymo label printers to the district clerk's office. Courtney?
All right, this is the last of them. They're done, but the district clerk's office does have a need for them, for all of them, so
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and transfer them.
I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Commissioner, I'm gonna let you second it.
I spent 3 years on that thing.
I'll second it. Jubilation.
And they're not coming back to surplus, yes?
They're
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Giesland, to approve the transfer of 5 Dymo label printers to the district clerk's office. All those in favor? Item passes. Thank you. Item 5, consider and take action on the contract with Watson Commercial Construction for the Henderson County Precinct 4 Justice of the Peace Building. Gentlemen, you know that this has been a long time coming. We actually put out for proposals a good while ago. We did quite a bit of negotiation, not only on the contract, but also had to redesign and reposition the building. There's been one issue after another getting to this point today. With us, we have Mr. Tim Watson, who is with Watson Commercial Construction, and Jennifer, if y'all would, please come forward so if the court has any questions. Gentlemen, do we have any questions for Jennifer and Tim concerning this contract?
The erosion control, will that be added to it, or is that included in the number?
The erosion control was an addition if the county felt that it was needed.
Okay.
And we've spoken about that and
Okay.
don't foresee a need for it at this point.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But I'll assure you, Commissioner Thomas, if the erosion is an issue, Precinct 4 will be the first one to know, since the silt will be drifting down, plugging the culvert right in front of the county barn. So
I understand.
told Watson that we would be monitoring that. We didn't think it was necessary. It's a very flat area.
The amount of the contract is $356,000.
$487.
You're speaking with a very quiet voice.
I'm sorry. $356,497.
$97. Okay. This is an increase of $23,000 from what the original starting point was. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's due to the time and inflation that's taking place and having to rebid materials after we did the redesign and negotiation.
That is correct.
Okay?
It might have been in there and I probably missed it, but if we go ahead and go through this, what are we looking at the start date?
If everything goes through today, we're looking at 15 days or so for us to get our ducks in a row, getting all of our subcontracts signed, getting everybody set up on a schedule. And our hope would be to start in mid-November and complete around mid-March of 2020.
Is there I read this last week, but is there a deal in here of a completion date, and then if it goes after that?
In the contract, we did not state a completion date. There is a general completion date that we've marked as March 15th, but it does not state in the contract of an official completion date. And that was more or less due to the fact that at this point, we're not quite sure what the weather is going to be like. We're obviously wanting to get started as quickly as possible, but we are starting at an odd time of year to begin a ground-up construction. Our goal is to move the project forward as quickly as possible, but to answer your question, no, there is not an official completion date within the contract documents.
It was discussed, Commissioner, but the fact of not knowing what the weather was going to do to us is what worked against that.
Commissioner, is there something, or in court, is there something that like you want to be in at a certain time, or just whenever it's completed?
Well, I mean, originally, we hoped to have beneficial occupancy of the building prior to the March election.
Yeah.
But,
So with all the time, it's not okay.
But, from my perspective, just knowing that the building is going to start is enough for, it's more exciting than getting rid of the last Dyno printer, for crying out loud. I mean, when I campaigned for commissioner in 2005, it was discussed about building a new JP4 building. So I'm surprised I'm still alive, and this thing is ready to break dirt. So jubilations and excitement. Just to see some yellow iron up there at the corner of 4719 and Loop 60 is wow, we're almost ready to see yellow iron. That's exciting.
17 years. This project has been in the making. 17 years.
And only 2 sites, though.
And 2 sites. 3 administrations. So, yeah, we are excited. Well, I know personally I am excited, as the commissioner said, to get this moving forward. Because not only is it's going to be a benefit to us in that southeast quadrant of the county. Having the additional opportunity for it to become a part of the vote site is very exciting. It has a courtroom, offices, and a voting location. And this hopefully can pave the way to an early voting site in the future. So.
I think it will also be beneficial to the constituents of Precinct 4 from the standpoint that the JP building will be in the same general proximity of the Precinct 4 Road and Bridge facility, about the same distance of here to the motor bank. So it's not on the same grounds, but it's nearby. And it's not off the beaten track as the Pointer building is now with the 175 bypass. Because it's right off of Loop 60 on 4719, across from the LaRue Post Office, which is the main post office in Precinct 4.
Any other questions or comments? Jennifer, do you have anything to add?
No, sir.
Mr. Watson?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, entertain a motion.
And this is for your signature, correct?
Correct.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesland, second by Commissioner McCam to approve the contract with Watson Commercial Construction for the new Henderson County Precinct 4 Justice of the Peace building with the judge's authorization to sign. Any further comment? If not, all those in favor? Item passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Item 6, consider and take action to approve the sanitary control easement agreement with Bethel Ash Water Supply Company. Commissioner McCam, I believe this is in your precinct?
Yes, I was presented with this sanitary control easement by Bethel Ash Water Supply Company. It's something that I don't think the court has ever done before, and it was something that they would highly recommend that we do through the water of Bethel Ash. So I had County Attorney Clint Davis look over it, and also Tyler Hendricks from Velvet and Weeks, and both of those individuals are here today and can answer hopefully any questions we might have about this sanitary control easement.
Okay. Tyler, Mr. County Attorney, if y'all would. Tell us
I don't want to
the,
leave you hanging out there.
Well, thank you.
No, this is something that I honestly don't know. Tyler may know if this is something new that TCEQ is requiring or something we just haven't ever ran across. Because again, as Commissioner McCam said, I haven't seen another one in 12 years. And in the last month, I've had this one and one other inquiry about one. I don't know that the other utility company that has approached me about one of these, if theirs will ever come to fruition, but I have had now 2 of them that have come up where TCEQ is requiring that they get certain easements from surrounding property owners in order to relieve them of certain TCEQ regulations. And what this easement is, there's a portion in that 150 circumference of the water well that crosses over into our county road easement and our county road. And so what we are giving up when we give up this easement is we're giving the rights to ever have a sewer system or sanitation system placed on our county road or in our easement. We're giving up the rights that we're not going to allow any buildings to be constructed on our county road, run cattle on our county road, run hogs on our county road, and some things like that. Septic tanks, yeah. Yeah.
Lateral lines.
Lateral lines. And so when you look at it, we're giving up a list of things that we couldn't allow, nor would we ever allow anyway. So at the end of the day, when I looked at this, I think that we're not giving up anything by signing it. I did talk to Mike Barrington, who is the representative from this particular utility company, about what would it mean, because I thought I might get this question from the court as to what happens if we don't grant them the easement. Does this just block their ability to put in a water well? And the answer to that is no. But what it does, though, I said earlier that it relieves them from certain testing or standards from TCEQ. If we give up this easement, and again, it's not only us. If there are other property owners that are within that 150-foot circumference, they will have to get all of those individual property owners to give up easements as well. They go from correct me if I say anything wrong, Tyler, that from the requirement of having annual inspections by TCEQ, if they don't have these easements, they have to go to quarterly inspections by TCEQ. And what that means is they get charged for those inspections. And they're anywhere, from what I've been able to tell, from $400 to $500 a pop. So
Also, there's more testing.
more testing, okay. So it would cost them, what I was told is it would cost them several $1,000s a year if they can't secure the required easements that TCEQ is wanting.
And we do already have, and I'm the engineer for Bethel, that's my project, so everybody knows that. But we already have easements from all of the other landowners. They own a good amount of it. There's a little bit to the south, a little bit to the west here, a little bit to the north, and a little bit to the northwest. But this has always been a requirement of the 150-foot sanitary easement. Used to, back in the day, it was just kind of assumed, well, it's a county road. You're not going to have these things there anyway. So let's have a little common sense. Well, now we've thrown out that we can have common sense rule. Apparently that's gone away now. So I got the notice back, yeah, you're going to have this, and I had a conversation with the reviewer, and I said, well, that's ridiculous. He says, that's true, it is ridiculous. And then we tried to have a conversation about that the county doesn't own that road, the people own the road, and they gave an easement, so that means that didn't mean anything. It was, so, it is what it is. Like Clint says, you're giving an easement to something, you're saying, I'm not going to have something I'm not going to have anyway. But we just need to give something to TCQ, you guys, here you go.
And the other thing that Tyler touched on that Commissioner McCam and I have had discussions about is, I think legally, we're also giving up a right that's not ours to give up, which doesn't affect us in signing this easement, but I'm not even sure we have the right to give up these rights under the easement. Because, as Tyler explained, we do not own our easement. We do not own that strip of property where our county road sits. We have an easement ourselves for the purposes of ingress and egress and public transportation. Our easement doesn't extend to doing anything else. I would submit that if we wanted to go build a structure, which is one of the things prohibited under this easement, if we wanted to go build a structure on some of our easements out there, I don't think legally we would be allowed to do that anyway, because that's outside of the scope of our prescriptive easement that we have.
The only question that I have, and it ties right to the prescriptive easement, if 20 years from now it is decided that the county needs to reroute 3700 and therefore the existing 3700 is abandoned, is there anything in this document that then says that what we are giving up now encumbers the owner of the prescriptive easement, which is going back to them, and they cannot build in the area because it's their property in actuality? But we're the ones saying that we're not going to build on it. And the document that they're signing, let's say for the .413 acres. And I'm only asking this because we have affirmed today that common sense has gone to the way of the landfill.
Yeah. That's your question.
And if that were to ever happen, which I think one is, the risk of that happening is very,
Yes.
very, very minimal.
Well, so is us building a building on the road.
But hypothetical, but in a hypothetical world, I think that the property owner hasn't given away any rights or any easements. I think the property owner at that time would be free to go back and do any of those things that they wanted to do, and then it would put Bethel Ash back in the position of negotiating with that property owner over resecure.
That particular piece of right-of-way, that was linked to the prescriptive easement.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And they would be back in the position they are today with that one owner of, will you give us a prescriptive easement, redo the easement on that? If not, whatever rules were in place 37 years from now with TCEQ, then they would be trying back to getting those.
Okay. I guess the brilliant engineers or lawyers that wrote this for TCEQ didn't think about that. That'll give them something to do in the next 3 or 4 years. So therefore, we have assured now that they have job security. How great it is.
What I was going to say is I won't comment on TCEQ's common sense or lack thereof, so I don't.
I'm just repeating what the engineer said to
What I
us.
will say, and again, my position on this, I'm comfortable with the county signing it if the Commissioner's Court is inclined to do it. And the way that I look at it is Bethel Ash serves all of our constituents and all of our taxpayers. And what we would be doing by virtue of TCEQ state policies that we don't necessarily look at as reasonable or that make any sense, we would be causing all of those people to pay more money for
Absolutely.
every single year.
Absolutely.
And essentially all we're doing is signing an easement saying we won't do what we already don't do.
Can't do right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, to speak to one more complication, just since everyone else is, does this mean you're going to have to stake and survey the location of the well to be sure that it is now center of what is on the documents?
I would assume that where they have produced the well schematic, now this is more of a Tyler question here.
I said,
I assume the
it's-
well location is accurately reflected in the well location. Yes.
I'm just
Yes.
Well,
stirring the pot, sorry.
in connection with what the judge just asked, is it a requirement that we put a sign on County Road 3700 at the north and south that states sanitary control easement?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean,
Just- You know,
This is what happens when common sense goes out the window.
That's-
Exactly.
I would never have been asking these questions
Right.
3 years ago, but, you know, they opened the door, so.
Exactly. Any other comments? Entertain a motion.
I move that we grant the sanitary control easement to Bethel Ash Water.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Thomas, to grant and approve the sanitary control easement for Bethel Ash Water Supply Company. All those in favor?
I have a question, if I may.
Okay.
The property owners, everyone's signing this today. Is this going to be filed with the county clerk so that if this land transfers to a new owner, that like utility easements are shown on the plat, the new owner realizes that this is an easement, a sanitary easement that goes through all 3 or 4 of these properties?
yes, and the other people that have already given separate easements which go to the center line of the road. You might even say, this is double covered, but the TCEQ, which we've already said what we're gonna say about that, they say, well, that's the county road right away, So, yes, that like this guy across the road, we've got an easement from him and it's been filed at the courthouse and so it goes with his property.
Okay.
So all of those are duly documented on their
Yeah,
plats?
so future owners of this property, that'll show up in a title search and,
Good.
all right.
It was just the concern for the
Right.
future. Sorry, Judge, I didn't think of that before.
No, it goes back to a previous discussion of septic tank.
Yeah, exactly.
All those in favor of the motion? Item passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler.
Item 7, consider and take action to set a public hearing for the setting of a speed limit of 30 miles an hour on County Road 4608 in Precinct 4. Commissioner Commissioner Giesen, sorry.
Yes, I've had a request of a constituent that lives on County Road 4608 due to high-speed travelers on his particular dead-end road. This road is off of Farm to Market 1615. It's about a quarter of a mile from the Henderson County line. As I just said, it's a dead-end road. It's about a quarter of a mile long. And therefore, I'd like to set a public hearing for November. You have a calendar there?
Yes, sir. November 5th is 21 days.
That's good for me. At 9:15
9:15.
on November the 5th.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesen.
Yeah, that was kind of a motion. Thank you.
Second by Commissioner McCam to set a public hearing for the setting of a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. 30 mile an hour speed limit on County Road 4608 for November 5th at 9:15. All those in favor?
Thank you, Court.
Item passes. Item 8, receive financial reports. We have none. Number 9, consider and take action on payroll distributions and accounts cash sheets. We have none. Item 10, consider and take action on submitted contracts. I don't believe we have any. Item 11, consider and take action on request for right-of-way permits, and I believe Precinct 2.
Court, we have a, I believe it's Encore, is requesting to, on County Road 2927 and Highway Old 85, 80-foot crossing for replacing a pole and then pulling some new service across the street. And that's basically all it is setting a new pole and pulling new electrical across the street of 2927.
Questions for Commissioner Tootley?
No questions.
No questions, Judge.
Entertain a motion.
I move to accept the proposed utility line activity of 80-foot across 2927 and Old Highway 85 in Precinct 2.
Second.
With the Commissioner's authorization to sign.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tootley, second by Commissioner Thomas. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 12, consider and take action on submitted budget amendments.
Yes, these are just cleaning up the miscellaneous revenues in road and bridge and getting them to the respective precincts.
Thank you for doing that.
Any other comments? Entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesen, second by Commissioner Tootley to approve the budget amendments as presented. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 13, consider and take action on payment of bills.
Yes, Court, today I have 3 sets of bills. The first one is the September sales tax in the amount of $665.15.
Questions?
No questions, Judge.
Entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesen, second by Commissioner McCam to approve the sales tax bills. All those in favor? Item passes.
I have a small set already for fiscal year 2020 in the amount of $1,205.
Questions?
No questions, Judge.
Entertain a motion.
So move to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesen, second by Commissioner Tully to approve the fiscal year 2020 bills as presented. All those in favor? Item passes.
2019 bills for this week are $468,222.12.
Commissioner Thomas.
I have no questions, Judge.
Commissioner Tully.
No questions.
Commissioner McCam.
I have none.
Commissioner Giesen.
Sheriff, when we renewed the contract with the East Texas Auto Task Force, was there an increase noted in that? I didn't have a chance before court to pull that contract when we renewed it a few months ago because it seems like the cost went up.
I do believe there was a slight increase.
Okay.
The state didn't fund as much as they normally have in years past.
Who didn't?
The state,
Who was that?
state of Texas.
The state of Texas didn't fund as much as they have in the past for the Auto Task Force, so it's costing the county to be involved in this about $1,000 a year more because the state just wanted to save some money, huh? Well, isn't that great? State saves money and puts a revenue cap on us. Gotta love it. No further questions.
We'll state that
Thank you, Sheriff.
we'll note that
Needed that.
the last pieces of our voting equipment are in the bills.
Yes.
The last few pieces that will have us set and ready for the rollout of the vote centers.
And let us also remember that the state didn't pass that piece of legislation that would help counties fund the replacement of voting equipment that was mandated by the federal government after the Gore-Bush election and the hanging Chad. That was the Help America Vote Act, and they helped us buy the hard equipment. But of course, that was back in 2002 and 3, and it's out of date, and it's really not in compliance with what the state wants us to do, having a paper trail. And they said, there was legislation that said that they were going to support the counties in replacing it. But in the 11th hour, they had to save that money too. Just thought you should know that. Remember the bill?
I'm trying to remember the number.
Me too.
But I can't.
Okay.
Too many of them.
Too many.
Being that there's no further questions, entertain a motion for the payment of the bills in the amount of $468,222.12.
So moved to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Giesen, second by Commissioner Tully to approve the 2019 bills. All those in favor? Item passes. Item 14, consider and take action on submitted plats.
Precinct 2, I'll be in favor.
Commissioner Tully?
Yes, Court, this is in the Pinnacle Club Phase 2. It's going from 4 lots down to 3. It's taking lot 524R, 526, 527, 528, and making 3 lots. They're just moving some lot lines and splitting and taking away lot 527. All signatures are here with 911, the HOA, and Tarrant Regional.
Questions for Commissioner Tully? Entertain a motion.
They didn't change much on
They didn't change very much on
524.
Yeah, R. I think they added some easements on there.
Yeah, it looks like that's all that really they changed, because
And then when you look up in 526R and 528R, is you'll see a kind of a gray or green line where the original lot lines was
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
527.
yeah.
No further questions.
Judge, I move that we accept the final plat of the Pinnacle Club Phase 2, Section D, of lots 520, making 524R-1, 526R, and 528R.
I'll second his motion, Judge.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Thomas to approve the replat in Pinnacle Club. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor? Item passes. Any other plats? Just the one?
Yeah, just that one.
Item 15, open and consider bids. Thank you. Item 16, I believe we have one more set of bills
Oh,
to
I'm
sign.
sorry.
Oh, did you sign?
No.
Did we get the budget amendments signed as well?
Yep.
Okay.
I've been through.
Okay. Item 16, consider and take action to adjourn.
I haven't finished
Oh,
signing down
excuse
here.
me.
Since you're trying to rush me, I might just sit here for a
We got a
while.
9:45 meeting.
Let's see. Okay. I relinquish.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley, second by Commissioner Thomas to adjourn. All those in favor? Item passes. We do have a Commissioners' workshop scheduled to begin in 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
But we'll wait 10, 15 minutes or so before we start, give everybody time.
And you rush me.